Hello and welcome back to Handmade by Hannah. I'm sorry for the absence, but I've had a lot going on in my personal life and I just haven't been feeling recording a video at the moment. But I'm now going to try and get back on track and try and get one released every Sunday again, like I did before. We have, so I do apologise for that. So we have 4 more squares that I want to show you. This one today is all done in one colour for a change. And this is like a spider web effect. And we're going to be working backwards and forwards in rows instead of going round and round and round. Okay, so it's a 6-row pattern repeat. So I'm just going to show you the first 6 rows to here, and then you just copy this onto the next bit here. Okay then, so we'll get started, shall we? So I've got my crochet hook, my number 5, my last little bit of this colour wool. I put this on a white piece of paper so you could see the little spider effect, but I'm going to play chicken with this and see whether I have enough to make a whole square with. And my darning needle and scissors. Okie dokie, so this is what we're going to be making today. I'll move that out of the way then. I'll move my piece of paper out of the way. Okay, so like with all our squares, we're going to start with a foundation chain. And we're gonna need 33 chains. So you all should be pretty practiced at this now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just talk amongst yourselves. 17, 18, 19, 20, whoops, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So we've done a chain of 33 there, you can see that. Right, I do apologise about my plaster on my hand. I've been doing a lot of gardening lately and I've scratched all my hand up, and I thought it would be better if you saw a plaster instead of this red angry scab that I've got there. So that's why the plaster's on there today. Okay, so we've done our 33 chain. We're now going to do a foundation row of trebles. So we're going to, hopefully you're all well practiced at doing trebles now. So we're going to miss the first 3 chains. So we're going to miss this one and this one. And we're going to do our next treble in the 4th chain along. Like so. That's 1. And you're just going to do this into every single chain all the way down, and you should end up with 31 trebles altogether. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so I'll keep chatting while I'm doing this. Yeah, so I've had a lot on my plate the last few weeks. I've had my father, who's been poorly in hospital, and then my pet dog, unfortunately, passed away. So yeah, I've had a bit of a lot on my plate the last few weeks. There will be a break in May because thank goodness, finally, after 3 years and COVID getting in the way, me and my husband will be going on our honeymoon to Mexico. Hopefully, if nothing else, in 34 more days time. So hopefully, if nothing else happens, hopefully we'll be able to go there for our honeymoon finally. So that'll be exciting. I don't know if I fancy the 10-hour trip on the plane, but well. So I'll just keep going. So just keep going all the way into every single chain until you've done 31 trebles. Now I've been teaching you how to put your treble in your chain. So, you know, some people will go in it just at the top there, or some people will teach you to go into the back of your chain there. That little back, see them little back loops? Some people will teach you to go in there. But I'm also a knitter as well, and I like the look that you get. Looks like the start of knitting. So I like to go into the bottom loop and catch both of those loops. But whatever you prefer, there's no right or wrong way. It's just how I prefer to do it. I just like the look of it when it's there, and I can also recognise the right side and the wrong side. It's just how I've taught myself. I taught myself to crochet. No one taught me. I taught myself from books, and actually from books. I didn't actually learn off YouTube. I actually taught myself to do it out of books. My mum gave me this little bazaar book. I don't know if any of you will remember them out there, but they were like little books that you could crochet tea cozies and little toys and that to make for jumble sales and things like that. And that's where I learnt to crochet. My first crochet was a tea cozy that had different patterned leaves on the round of it. I remember doing that. That was a knitted one. But I also crocheted a scarf and hundreds of things. I've lost count the amount of things I've crocheted. I went for a phase of knitting a lot, which I might do in my, after I've done this one, I might do in my next round of videos. There. So we've done that, and we should have 31. So I'm just going to quickly double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oh, see, that's why you always check. I'm going to leave that in because you can see I missed a chain there. So that's why it's always good to double check, especially when you're doing a pattern, because you need all the stitches. So it's a good job I checked that. Right, now we have 31. Okay, so we've done our foundation chain of 33, went into the 4th chain of the row, and now we've done our 31 trebles for our foundation chain. So now all you're going to do is you're just going to do that again. So you're going to chain 3, and then you're just going to, you missed this first one here, don't treble into there because this is classed as your first treble. So miss that one and go into that one, and you're just going to do this all again, all the way down into every single previous treble. So this is really easy, this one. I thought I'd ease back into something that was pretty easy. And so just go into every single one, making sure that when we get to the end, we have 31 more trebles. I hope I'm not doing this too quick for you. I'm sort of assuming that if you've been making this blanket as we go along, that you're practice now at double crochets and trebles, popcorns and bobbles. So the new stitch we're going to be learning this week will be a double treble. So I've been trying to do all the squares, so I teach you a new stitch every time. So once you master the double crochet and the trebles and you get used to the language, you'll hopefully be able to start following some patterns of your own, or even making up some patterns of your own if you're that clever. So we're going along here. My wall's fighting me. I don't think I'm going to have enough to do the whole thing, but it'll be alright for demonstration purposes today. Things like your tension and the neatness of your crochet will come with time once you've been practicing for a while. So I thought I'd come back and show you, don't forget to do a treble in this last bit. Now over the years I've been doing it, I thought that maybe I needed to do it in the top two here, can you see that? In them two there. But I found that it twists it and then you get a big gap and a hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work, you remember in the beginning I showed you these little back loops. I'm going to work into the back loop of that there onto the third chain that we started with. There. You get a bit more of a neater edge. Okay, so now we're going to turn again. Should have 31 because I checked at the beginning, so we should have 31. I'm just going to hope and pray that I have got 31. Now we're going to 3 chain again, which counts as your first treble. Then we're going to do 1 treble in the next 4, so we're going to miss this one. I missed this one. I'm going to go into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that will give us a total of 5 trebles to start with. Okay, and then this is where we start our little web design, little lacy web design. So we're going to now do 4 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm going to show you how to do a double treble. So with a treble we go round once, but with a double treble we go round twice. And then we're going to miss this first treble here and go into the next treble. Yarn over hook there, and then you're just going to keep putting your yarn over your hook and then go through the next 2 like so. Then you end up with 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to put your yarn over and go through the next 2, and then you yarn over and go through the next 2 like so. And then we're not going to do a chain, a single chain, we're just going to go straight into the next double treble. So we're going to go round like so. We're going to miss this one and we're going to go into this one. we're going to do this a total of 4 times. So we yarn round twice, then yarn round, go through the first 2, yarn round, go through the next 2, and then yarn round and go through the next 2. So I'm going to do it 2 more times. So yarn round, hook twice, miss this one here and go into the next one, yarn over, pull that through, then yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2, yarn over, go through the next 2. One more time for this little section. Miss that treble there, we're going to go into this one, yarn over, first 2, yarn over, next 2, yarn over the following 2. So you've done your 4 chains and your 4 double trebles. So we need to copy what we did this side. So we're going to do 4 more chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to miss this one, and then we're going to do 3 more trebles in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to do this all over again on the next side. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chains first, put your yarn round your hook twice, miss this treble here, and then you go into this one, yarn over first 2, yarn over second 2, yarn over last 2. We're going to go around it and we're going to repeat this, missing one and go into the next one. We're going to do this 4 times. Miss that one, go into this one, yarn over those 2, yarn over those 2, yarn over the next 2. So how many times have we done that now? 3. Got to do it 1 more time, miss that one, go into that one, first 2, next 2, third 2. So that's your double treble, which makes it twice as high as your normal treble. So if you look, you've got one little bit going there, but on your double treble you have it twice. So it's like having a treble like on top of each other. That's how I always remembered it. So another 4 chains, and then we're going to miss that one, and we should have 5 stitches left to do our last 5 trebles in this bit here. Now, when I first learnt to crochet and I was working backwards and forwards, I kept forgetting to do the stitch in this one every time, and I kept wondering why my crochet square was squonky. So don't forget to do your last one in here. So through years of experience, I found it better to go through this back loop like so, and that gives you a bit of a straighter edge. There are other techniques to use for a straighter edge, but because this is very beginner, I'm not going to show you that yet. I might show you in a future video, but there are other ways of getting a nice straight edge on your squares, but for now I'll just show you this. I'll show you it this way. So now we're going to do the next row. So we're going to do 3, so we're going to keep going with 5 trebles on this side, the 3 in the middle and the 5 on the other side, so I don't keep repeating myself. So you just miss this one here, don't go into that one because you've done your first treble there. So you go into the next 4, 4. So these next 2 rows are going to be exactly the same. So we're going to do 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead of a double treble, we're just going to do double crochets. So you find the top of your double treble from the previous round, which is there. If you can see that there, which is in there. And we're just going to do 4 double trebles. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you've done 4 double trebles into each double treble. Sorry, you've done 4 double crochets into the top of your previous double trebles. Flippin' heck. That's a mouthful. You don't want to say that after a few sherbets. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4 chains again. Then you're going to keep this going all the way up your square. So you're going to do 3 trebles into there. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're just going to do exactly the same as you did there in the next bit. So you go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Double crochet into the top of each of your previous double trebles. Woohoo! Got it right that time. Like so. Then 4 more chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then your 5 trebles at the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and in the back loop of that previous one. Be a bit tricky, but it makes for a nicer finish. Try not to split your wool. Oh, it does help if I put my yarn around my hook first. I was getting a step ahead of myself. And there. And there you have it. I'm just going to bring my... I was going to bring my bit of paper back again, but... So if you can see that now. So you're just going to do that row one more time. So you do your 3, then you miss this one, then do your 4, and then you just do exactly the same as what you've just done. And I will meet you back for the next row. Okay, so here we are, and meet me back again. So I bought this white bit of paper because for some reason I like to make life difficult for myself and use the same colour as my table. So I bought this little white bit of paper back so that you can see where the little lacy pattern is starting. So we done this row twice. So we done 5 trebles, 4 chain, 4 double crochets into the top of them, 4 chain, 3 double crochets, 4 chain, 4 double crochets, 4 chain, and 5 trebles again. And then I did that again at the top here. So now I'm going to do the next row. So yep, you guessed it, we're going to start with 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and our first 5. So that, and then we treble in the next 4, which then gives us our 5 trebles at the beginning. Like so. So this top bit, we're now going to do this bit, but we're going to do it at the top here. So we're going to do so we're going to do 1 chain, which was this 1 missed treble here. Then we're going to do a double treble into the first of the double crochets, right? So that's 1, but we are going to put 1 chain because our 1 chain is this chain space here. So I'm going to do 1 chain there, another double crochet, double treble, sorry, and then 1 chain, and then another one, first 2, next 2, next 2, that's 3. So we do 1 more chain there and double treble into this last one here. And then 1 chain again, and then 3 trebles, I'm starting to run out of wool. One, 2 and 3. Now you're just going to do that all again there. So 4 chain, no, 1 chain, then a double treble into the first double crochet there, another chain space, and then another double treble into the double crochet, another chain space, 2, 2 and 2, another chain space, and the last one in there, one chain space, and then your 5 trebles at the end here. One, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5. And there you have it. Like so. There you have your little spider webs, there and there. So all you're going to do now is you're going to do another row of trebles up here, and then you're just going to repeat that section again up here. So I'll just show you where to place if my wool will allow. So you missed this first one, go into the next one. So you start with your 5 trebles, and we're just going to treble all the way along, not forgetting to treble into our 1 chain spaces. Now you can go into your chain space like so, like that, and then treble it like so. Then don't forget to go into the top of your double treble, or you can just go straight in the gap and do a treble. So that's the 2 different looks you can have. So you can do it like that, or you can just go straight in the hole and do it like that, this is the one I prefer. So I'm just going to take that back out. You can do it, there's no wrong or right way, you just do it however, whatever you prefer. I prefer just going straight in. So don't forget that you've got to do a treble in each of the 1 chain spaces, so that you end up with 31 trebles again. So let's see how much thread. Oh, run out of wool. Just see how much further I can go along here. I might have to, when I do my blanket, I have to do this in a different colour. So anyway, as you can see, I've run out of wool now, but you get the gist of it. So if I bring my one that I made in Great Blue Peter style, if you're old enough to remember Blue Peter. So we did a chain of 33, then we trebled into each one of them to give us 31 trebles, then we did that row again here, then we did 5 trebles, 4 chains, 4 double trebles, 4 chains, 3 trebles, 4 chain, 4 double trebles, 4 chain, and 5 double trebles. Then you did this row, but you did it twice. So 5 trebles, 4 chain, and then you did 4 double crochets into the top of each of them, another 4 chain, and then you repeated that, and then you did the same the next row. Then we've done the opposite of this up here, so we did 5 trebles, sorry, 1 chain, 4 trebles, sorry, 1 chain, 1 double treble, 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 1 chain, and did 3, and then we did exactly the same to the end. So because I've run out of wool now, so what you're going to do is you're just going to treble in all of these, making sure that you do it in the chain spaces as well, and you should have 31 trebles again. Then as you can see, you just repeat it, so you just do your row of trebles, and you just repeat all of that back up here again, and then do one more last row of trebles, and that's it. That's all there is to this one. So again, I apologise for my absence, but hopefully I'll be back now, and I'll be posting every Sunday again. I've got 3 more squares and 3 more stitches that I want to show you, and some different techniques that are going to using double crochets and trebles, but mixing it up a bit, which makes it look completely different. So there we are, there's your spidery lacy square. If any of you have been making this blanket or these squares even, I would love to see your pictures. I have been putting a link on my description for my Handmade by Hannah Facebook page. So if you would, I would love to see what you've been doing and how good a teacher I am. Obviously, if you have any questions or you're stuck on something, then please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Until then, happy crocheting, and I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Okay, take care. Let's hope this week brings us some fun. Bye.